Maria. Well, thank you so much for hopping on this call with me. Throughout all of COVID and even before COVID, talking to the coaches and seeing who just does an awesome job day in and day out, it would be an understatement for me to say that your name has been dropped more than once, because it's been dropped a few times. And so I wanted to hop on a call with you and just have a chat and hopefully get to share your story.
Sounds great. Thank you.
You're welcome. So Maria, do you remember when you started at Tradewinds?
Yes, I started on October 10th. I think it was one day before AJ.
Do you always hold that over his head that you I
Yeah.
started one day before you?
I try. Yeah. Him and I are in constant competition. So
Friendly competition, obviously, because
of course.
that's a great thing to have, and it's awesome that you guys get to. Now, you didn't know AJ before Tradewinds.
No, not at all. No.
So it's awesome that you've been able to make that bond with him and be able to share this experience and have basically like a gym buddy.
Yeah, so that's something that has been super exciting and positive about this whole experience is, meeting people in my community that I didn't know before and forming some new friendships. I go to the midday class, as you know, before COVID even started, I would go to the 12 o'clock class. And so, I started to get to know the other people that went to the 12 o'clock class. And now, a few of us, AJ included, usually join the midday virtual class. So we've been able to kind of keep that up, keep in touch, keep, looking at each other's kind of records and PRs and keep motivating each other.
I mean, that's awesome, because with our virtual classes, honestly, our midday's been our largest one. So whatever you guys are doing, just keep going, because it seems to be working.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And now, what made you want to start at Tradewinds, back in October?
So I had just finished breastfeeding. Can I say that? I had just finished breastfeeding my third kid. And I knew I was done having kids. My body had gone through basically 6 years of changes, right? Of being, I was pretty athletic and, growing up, I always did sports. I always ran. Fitness was just a part of my life, and getting pregnant really kind of threw a wrench in that. And I did that 3 times. So that's, 3 times going through 9-10 months of pregnancy, and then a year to, 3 years of breastfeeding for each kid, 1 year per each kid. And so after 6 years, my body was in a shape that I was not familiar with anymore. That was, I had spent, the good part of my, 27 years, being in control of my body, being able to do what I needed to do to keep myself healthy and what I would call fit. And then after the pregnancies, I just was at a point where I was like, okay, I need help. I need to get back to something that I'm comfortable with. I wanted to get back to a level of physical strength where I felt like, I could do anything with my kids. I could, wrench them up and put them in the car seat, without hurting my wrists. The car seats with the babies in them these days are super heavy. I don't know if you realize. And so just doing that every day, day in and day out, I would start to feel like these little pains that I had never felt before. And so I wanted to get back to a level of total fitness, like strength, like, where I could feel comfortable doing all of these things, and also keeping up with my kids, being able to run around and play with them and so on. And so I was talking to one of my friends at the time, Alyssa, who was a Tradewinds member, and she was just telling me about your program. She loved the group classes. And basically kind of sold me on it. So I called you guys up. I went in for a one-on-one interview with you and figured I'd try it out. And I loved it. It was, I did your 6-week intro class, and I was really intrigued. I was nervous. I was scared to get thrown right into those group classes with all those weights flying around. But I started out really slow and really light, and I fell in love with it really quickly. And it's super motivating for me.
That's a phenomenal story, to be honest. I mean, there were parts of that I didn't know, and I'm the one that sat down and did your one-on-one consultation. So thank you for sharing that, because that was amazing. And I mean, I think that is truly inspirational. Basically, you didn't recognize who you were anymore. And so
Yeah.
for you, it was time to take that back and
Yeah.
be comfortable in your own body again.
Yeah. And it wasn't that I was like out of shape. I wasn't out of shape. I just didn't have the strength that I wanted. It wasn't that I needed to lose a bunch of weight. It wasn't that, I wanted to, get into a whole nother class of like, I'm not interested in being like an Olympic weightlifter or anything like that. I just wanted to get my own confidence in my body back, in being strong, being able to do things and not have to worry about twisting my ankle or breaking a bone or something like that. And then, I also wanted to tone up. Obviously, like after 3 kids, your stomach never looks like it did before. So, that was always a little bit of motivation for me too. And I've been able to do that over, it's been 10 months now, October, about 10 months now. And even with COVID, even with 4 months at home, you guys, the workouts that you've written have allowed me to tone up. And that's exactly what I wanted, to feel strong, feel like I have muscles and can pick things up, including my kids, but other things too. So yeah, it's been a huge success.
That's great. So, you brought it up. COVID obviously happened about 4 months ago. We kind of shut down, basically everything shut down. The gym physically closed. And so, outside of even just the gym, what did COVID do for you in a personal life? Like, how did it throw a wrench into everything?
So I had to figure out, how I was going to get my workouts in. I had to figure out, I knew right from the start that I needed to keep something up. I didn't want to lose, the 5.5 months of progress that I had made in the gym. And so thankfully you guys put together these daily programs. I think the first 2 weeks it was just kind of on our own, and I pushed myself to do them. I got my family involved a little bit, but not much. My kids are still young, 6, 4, and 2. So they still they can all do planks and burpees, which I'm very proud of, but they aren't good for a 35 or 40 minute workout. So my husband and I had to just kind of figure out how I was going to get my hour in, and we made it work. He's been doing lunchtime and nap time for the kids so that I can jump on the 12 o'clock Zoom class. I blocked that hour out on my calendar. So my, meetings don't get scheduled for me for that 1 hour. And that's my time. Everyone knows that 12 to 1 is my time to work out. And if I don't get it, I probably won't get my workout in. So I am always there. I always show up and am ready to put the work in to do it.
That's awesome. I mean, basically you said that you weren't going to let COVID throw, your fitness and your health for a loop. You took control of it. It's awesome that you have that support system with your husband, because, without that it does make it more difficult.
Yeah, no doubt.
But that's awesome. That's fantastic. And, obviously you've been crushing it, right? Like I said in the beginning of this, I talked to the coaches and I'm like, who is just absolutely doing awesome during this time? And like I said, your name gets dropped all the time. So it shows. You've been consistent across the board. And you said it yourself, even now that we've been physically shut down, you've still been able to tone. You've still been able to keep your fitness up. And that's phenomenal. And that's because you put in the hard work. Nice job.
Thank you. Yeah. And you guys, it's all because you're writing these programs for us. My thing has been, some days it's okay, just get myself there, get myself in front of the computer at 12 o'clock. And it doesn't matter what the workout is, at least if I can get something in. So even on the days, I mean, a lot of days it's really challenging and the workout finishes and I feel great and awesome and like another very good, progress day. And then other days it's a lighter workout and it still feels great because you got your heart rate up, you did a little bit of work or a lot of work in some cases, and it's progress. So every day just trying to get a little bit of physical activity in that's my goal. And that's what I'm trying to do.
That's fantastic. And it seems like, basically what happened was you schedule the time, you make sure that you show up. It doesn't matter how you're feeling. Even if you don't have a ton of energy, you still show up, as you said,
Yep.
in front of the computer, and you do the workout. Some days you can push really hard. Other days, it may not be, and you just do it to keep moving.
Right.
And that sounds like something that even when we physically reopen, a lot of people should just kind of take to heart.
Right. Yeah. And it might be that, when we physically reopen, some people won't be able to join every day. So it'll be interesting to see, I know you guys are thinking about what you're going to do and put together in terms of like keeping up, I don't know, any virtual classes or some outdoor classes or something like that. But that'll be interesting to see, because I think like for a few of us, I know Rita mentioned the same thing, right? Like I've been able to show up, quote unquote, show up 6 days a week to class. Whereas when we were having all in-person classes, I was averaging 4 days a week. Some weeks I'd make it 5, but almost never 6. So in that sense, COVID has actually had a positive influence on my fitness level because attendance is up.
So, and what do you think made the difference?
Convenience, and also commitment. So, blocking it out on my calendar, and also the fact that my husband is at home, right? Because before, like if one kid had to stay home from school, I wouldn't have been able to leave the kid at home and show up to class. Whereas now, even if I am alone, even if my husband is at the office, I could still show up for class with my kid at home. So yeah, convenience is the biggest part of that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see kind of how that plays out once the gym physically reopens. But I'm super excited for reopening. It'll be fun to be back together with everybody in the same room. So
nice. Now, have you made
either way, it'll be a positive.
Yeah. Have you made it to any of the park workouts yet?
Yes, I've been to, I think 4 now, and they're awesome. The last one we went on, it was yesterday, actually, yesterday morning. It was downpouring on us. There were 4 or 5 of us there. And that was my first workout in the rain. It wasn't thunder or lightning or anything. It was my first workout in the rain probably since track and field in college. So it was a lot of fun.
Good. I'm glad you had fun. Rain can obviously deter a lot of people, but I know, Coach Mary was there with you guys, and I happened to see it downpouring. I was like, I wonder if they're going to call a class, but apparently you guys were like, let's just keep going, Coach. We're going to do this. I'm not going to let it stop us.
Yep.
That's commitment right there. That's fantastic.
It was great.
Awesome. So, you've been crushing COVID. Great job. So I guess I just have one last question for you. Like, what's your favorite thing about Tradewinds?
Oh man. There's so many, I know there's so many positive things about it. I mean, just being able to see and experience my own, personal gain, my physical gain. That's super motivating for me. It's super fulfilling for me. Ultimately that's what I came to accomplish. All the other things are just added benefits, added perks, the people that I'm meeting, the people that I can call my friends now, just it's all kind of fringe benefits of that. The other thing that I love about Tradewinds in particular, I've been to gyms all my life. I've had gym memberships to, all different types of gyms. I've done Zumba classes, I've done yoga classes, I've done spinning classes. The thing that I love about this that continues to motivate me day after day is the change in workout, the change of programs. Every day is a different workout. You never know what you're going to get, whether you're in the gym or out of the gym. And that's seriously motivating. It doesn't get old. What you're doing doesn't get old. And that's a big motivator for me. So that's one of the things that I love the most about it.
Awesome. Well, Maria, thank you so much for sharing your story. It's truly inspirational and you are crushing it. So just whatever it is you're doing, keep doing it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Andy and Mary.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Maria. And for everybody that's watching and listening, hope you guys take something away from Maria's story. I know it's truly inspirational to me. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you.